The start of the Tokopah Valley Trail, 1.7 miles to Tokopah Falls, with my brother. We're at Sequoia National Forest. Saw the redwoods earlier today. We'll see more of those tomorrow. There's a big ass fallen tree. It's not a redwood, but it's big enough. Big enough you wouldn't want it falling on your head, man. Well, that's the redwoods behind us, but there's still some big trees back in here. This big thing. Dead, but it's a good 4 feet wide. Oh. These aren't the redwoods, but they're big enough. Bigger than most anything you'll find in Oklahoma. More expensive. This trail is, you see it's a fairly smooth trail. It's winding its way up. It's not hard. Got granite boulders on either side of us. Pretty big trees, but not the redwoods. See those tomorrow. I'm not sure how high this trail gets. It's 1.7 miles one way to get to the falls. And we're starting to get, if you can see the mountains. Let's see. Trail falls alongside of this creek. You see there's a tree, a big tree fell on the rock. Nice forest we're working through here. I don't know what kind of trees these are, but that one there, that thing is 4 foot wide at least. All the trees here are a lot bigger than normal. But the redwoods we saw here today, well, those things are huge. Got this weird tree here, perfectly alive. You see, it's just bent over. You notice none of the branches are even growing on the top. All the branches are just growing out the bottom. There's a weird deal there. We're still going up, and we're getting to where, I don't know if you can see the mountains back behind there. Here you can start to get a shot right in the middle of the screen. That's where we're headed. That is where we're headed. There's a trail and we're headed this way. Came from that way. My brother's gone. He disappeared somewhere. He's off doing something. But anyway, that's where I'm going. Here's a good looking tree. Still alive. It's just got this one thing growing out of the side. The rest of it's broken. But anyway. Where we're headed. I'm not far. I'm not sure how much farther the trail goes back in there, but that's the direction we're going. Maybe I haven't shown enough of the trail itself. It's more a walking trail. It's not so much a hiking trail. I mean, it's a very easy trail. It winds through these big trees. I mean, like this tree here is nearly 4 feet wide. That's a big damn tree, but it's nothing compared, of course, to the redwoods. But it is very beautiful back in here. Now that tree, that's a pretty darn tall tree. That's not a redwood, obviously. But most of the redwoods are really not that tall. I mean, these trees here are taller than the redwoods are. They're taller, I mean, the redwoods are very wide, but they're just not especially tall. That's where we're headed. But by any standards, that is a big tree. That thing's probably the height of a 25-story building, maybe, just a guess. There's a dead one there. Really beautiful back in here. And now this one, my God. This is not a redwood, but that is 7 foot wide. I mean, that sucker is huge. Damn, that's the biggest tree I've seen out here that's not a redwood. I'm gonna go back here and see if I can find my brother. This is my brother standing in front of this big ass monstrous thing. It's not a redwood, but dang. You see how, you know, the thing is 7 foot wide. Big boy. There's a stream. We're getting close to this big old thing. Still don't know where the falls are. That's straight ahead. That's way up. Man, big trees. Even without the redwoods, these things are huge. Most of these things are a good 4 foot wide, 5 foot wide. That one there, at least 5 foot wide. This is a midget. It's only 3 foot wide. Tall trees. It is gorgeous back in here, man. Just beautiful back in here. I don't have an idea, really, how much further is to go, but I can see, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there at the notch at the top of the trees, I can see the mountains in front of us. So, let's see how much farther this goes before we get to whatever these falls are. Now we're getting, I think, close to the end because this canyon is boxing itself in back here. Getting closer at these, I think this bridge here. Starting to climb a bit more. See the cliff there, and that thing, if you can't tell, that thing has got to be the better part of a mile. You know, I've been trying to kind of avoid them for the video's sake, but this is a very crowded trail. Dozens of people out here. Still not sure how much further this thing goes, but it can't go much further because I can see the canyon wall back there. Man, this thing, whew, that's a big boy. Looks like it might go back another quarter of a mile or so. I really have no idea how far we've come. It's hard to judge your distance out here. Now, the same conditions that made the redwoods so big made other trees big too. It's just the redwoods are the biggest, you know. And these other trees are certainly not redwoods, but all these trees, this thing is 6 foot wide. All these trees are bigger than normal back here. Well, not every one of them, but on the average, most of these trees are much bigger than normal. But wait till we get to the redwoods, man. I saw some of those things wider than my damn truck. There's this trail. It's a little bit up and down. It's more up than down on the way there, but it's very easy walking. My brother's lagging behind. Huh. Here's a weird looking tree there. Broken over in the middle, and it's got 3 separate trunks going up there. More people. Getting a clear view of what's in front of us. That's in front of us. And then that's the one beside us. So, not a lot farther this thing's going to go. It is. And that's on this side. That's to the left. That's in front. And that's to the right. It smells like Christmas trees back in here. Beautiful. We're at about, what is it, 7,000 feet or so. The temperature here is in the low 60s, whereas in Vegas, it's about 100. The water in these streams, I don't know if I'd want to drink it, but man, it's crystal clear. I don't know if you can see that. And, you know, that creek we've been following, this trail runs to the side of that creek. The water in there is just amazingly clear. Reminds me of the water in Georgia in the mountains, just absolutely crystal clear. Wouldn't drink it without treating it, but it's just really clear. Let me pause this again until I get a little closer. Walking through this grove of these. That thing there is 6 foot wide. I'm getting towards the end. All these trees down here are just, you know, it's like, oh, it's almost like a regular forest, except the trees are just so huge. At least, you know, I mean, yeah, they're not as big as redwoods. I think I've made that point, but they're damn big compared to your average tree. Well, thought I was getting to the end. Hard to judge the distance here, but it's not much further. Maybe an eighth of a mile. I'm going to pause this again. Got to be getting to the end now. Yeah, it's just got to be just right up here. I don't hear any waterfall. There's supposed to be some falls here. Maybe it curves around and goes up to the left. That's what I'm starting to think. I don't see anything here, so I don't think we're at the end. Okay, that's the falls off in the distance, which they're not much for falls. It's a pretty small fall. Of course, I would imagine it's a lot more when it rains. There's those big ass cliffs in front. So yeah, the trail's going over that way. That's where we're headed. That's where we're going. And the trail's going through the middle of these split. This is all granite here. The trail's going through the middle of these boulders up here. Whew. Getting hungry. Look at this. Big granite overhang here. I suppose it might be a good place to stop if it were raining. My brother's lagging as usual. We're going on pause again. Yeah, it's covering up to the left of where we were. There's this giant thing. Falls are in the front. This is the cliffs on the side, and that's behind us. There's a very slow dude.
Slow, I'm taking pictures.
Mr. Photographer. So we'll see how far further this thing goes. But man, that is cool. That is beautiful. Now let me just keep it running for a bit. Yeah, you get into this bowl here. We're surrounded on all sides. Beautiful. Although you gotta watch the footing. There, when the trail was nice and smooth. Here, it's much more difficult. Yes, lots of jagged granite, lots of loose pieces too. So, let me pause this one more time. Okay, we're at the end. There's the falls, which aren't a whole lot right now, but I would imagine after it's rained real good, they're real good. But man, this area, look at this. That's where we came from. But here we're just, you know, cliffs all around. I don't think there's any way you could get out of here other than the way we came. Well, you might be able to hike up there. It wouldn't be much fun. Hold on, they're calling. It's a marmot. Looks like a beaver without the tail. It looks just like a beaver without the tail. Well, yeah, there was a marmot running around there. Hope you saw that pretty well in the video. I'll do a little 360 here. This is way up. That's way up. Oh my God! That has got to be, you know, that's way up there. That's nearly a mile up.
3,000 feet.
That's 3,000 feet minimum. So, have to be on hit on back. The marmot is down in that hole. So hopefully you saw him. But that's the way back down into the valley there. This is a beautiful place. Whoa! Reminds me of Mary Jane Falls over by Mount Charleston. Definitely well worth the hike. The falls are not much today, but I would imagine after there's been some rain that they're a lot bigger. And that water is crystal clear down there. So, I don't know if I'll shoot any more video. Well, there's a couple places on the way down I'd like to get a video, but we're going to start back. Stop down here by the creek. That's looking upstream and downstream. It's all being funneled right there. Look how crystal clear this water is. Absolutely crystal clear.
You know that's carving some rock right there.
Yeah. Now these are more of the falls than the falls.
Look at that hole there.
Yeah. These are more like the actual falls than what the falls were.
I can't even hear you. The echo off that so loud.
Look at this pool right there. That's a hole in the rock about 3 feet deep. This is about halfway back to the entrance. And when the water's really flowing, it's going to cover, and you can tell this stuff is smooth. I mean, right now it's just this part right here. But when you've had a lot of rainfall, this whole place is just a giant waterfall. And gorgeous. I'm going to give me some of this water. There's a tree I'm looking for. I may do another little piece of video if I find that tree, otherwise that's maybe it. We'll see. Okay, well, yeah, we're about done. It took about 2 hours. That was the Tokopah Falls, I forget. Well worth the hike. Beautiful looking there. That's from the Lodgepole Campground in the Sequoia Park. It's about, the Lodgepole Campground is about 25 miles into the park. Oh, look at this big. Yeah, big old monster. I showed you that earlier. Here, stand right there. Yeah, look how big that thing is. That thing is 5 feet taller than my brother. That's 11 feet right there. That's a big old tree, fellow. So that's it. 12. Topeka, whatever. Tapioca Falls. Yeah, that's it for the Tapioca Falls hike. Well worth the hike.